double click on something that you mentioned earlier, which is the quality of the project. I think if you can talk a little bit about like what do you typically look for? When you look at a high quality project, is it the team, is it the IP itself, or is it are there other aspects that you also consider?
Yeah, and there's not like a black and white answer, right? In a way, because quality, I think, is a very broad term, which it's hard to apply, especially when you talk about entertainment IPs, entertainment projects. But I think our definition of quality is bringing the best teams, the best people, the best companies into working together for something that create value in the long terms. Because we are equity investors, we also understand that the upside, the real income from these projects might come over a period of time. And so there needs to be an audience demand constantly for these type of IPs. So just to narrow it down, for example, into what we do in films, right? Like we are trying to build a very healthy and balanced portfolio of collaborations with a few gatekeeper, with a few exceptional companies in the industry, which are mainly in distribution and international sales. With them, we want to go into a journey that lasts a few years, that lasts over a number of projects. So you really create a slate approach that will in turn create sub-portfolio of investment within the few relationships that you create. Right. And I think it all starts with getting to know those teams, those management teams, from the owner of the companies to the actual people on the ground, from the project selections, the acquisition, the creative team, all the way down to the finance team, the sales team, etc. And it's about building a connections with them, see what they see in the market that they know so well, and see if we can bring any additional value ourselves. Because we also see a lot. We see a lot of projects. We see a lot of distribution deal. We see a lot of volumes from the industry, and we are hoping to bring that perspective into this relationship. And we're very conscious of our role as executive producers, as investors. Our perspective is less on the creative input. It's very much trying to understand on the commercial side of things, how the audiences works, the distribution works, and working alongside these great partners to maximize these projects, really. But it all starts by putting together, again, quality projects and a quality relationship. And within that, we believe that as any other sort of fund manager will do in other industry, you need to create diversification in your portfolio. So if you look, for example, at some of our recent partners right now, they go from A24 to XYZ Films, MK2 in France, Red Bull Studios, and so on. And I think you can see how they operate in different buckets of the market. Right. And they're different in terms of budget size, type of audiences they're aiming to, genre, of course, and they all fit within a very specific audiences that they know so well. And I think this is a bigger conversation, but I think nowadays for companies, and let alone the creatives, but for companies to understand the audiences they are talking to, the audiences they are trying to serve with their projects, it's incredibly important. And sometimes that audience is directly the end consumer. And you can see in the example of A24, they are a global distribution company, and they understand that direct to audience relationship extremely well. Right. But other companies, they might operate more on a B2B type of relationship. They also need to understand who their buyers are, from whether they are local distributors or global streamers, but they need to understand what they are looking for, what their needs are, what their audiences is to serve, and they need to work in trying and bring the best projects that within that bucket, right?
That's right. No, all of that actually makes a lot of sense, both the audience part as well as the partners piece, the B2B partners that they will bring in.